So this is my existing half bath, and I want to go on record saying that a half bath remodel is the gateway drug of home improvement, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that by the end of the video. Now, I'm very confident that anybody watching this video can figure out how to remove a vanity. Usually it's just a couple of screws and then you got to disconnect the supply and drain connections, but pretty easy. Removing a toilet is also pretty simple, but it can be kind of gross. So I bought this packet of crystals from a guy named Jesse Pinkman or something at the local Home Depot, and these crystals work by turning the toilet water into a gel so you don't spill that nasty toilet water during the removal. And I gotta say, those crystals work pretty well. Listen to this. Anyways, a half bath remodel can be as simple or as complicated as you want to make it, and I'm going to make it a little bit more complicated by installing this Haro T37 smart toilet, which is made for a 10-inch rough-in because that's what I've got, and it has a ton of features. And I'll show you all those features at the end of the video, but first, we got to install this bad boy. This toilet is going to need a power source, so I'm marking the location of the stud and the approximate height for this power outlet, which I'm going to be adding right here. After marking the location for the outlet, I cut out the drywall using an oscillating tool, but you can also use a jab saw. And after confirming that my electrical box would fit, I need to talk about power. So my original plan was to run power from the existing outlet in the bathroom, but I discovered a duct running up through this stud bay, so that was impossible. And after patching that mistake, I determined that I could pull power from the kitchen outlet on the opposite side of the wall. And all of this troubleshooting and problem solving and improvising is part of the process. You're gonna have this with every single remodel, and the more you do, the more you're gonna know what to do when you come across these inconveniences. And if you're not familiar with these old work boxes, when you tighten up the screws, the flaps on the inside are gonna flare out and then hold that box snugly up against the drywall. And after wiring up that GFCI outlet, the smart toilet has a power source. Now, you might be thinking right here, oh, Andrew's painting the walls a nice white color. Well, again, I'm making things harder for myself. This is actually just a primer, and what I'm going to be applying is something called Roman clay. Unlike paint, which you apply quickly with a paintbrush or roller, Roman clay is applied with a trowel because it has a thick mud consistency. And the reason I'm applying this is because I had a bunch left over from my last Roman clay project, and I'll link that video down below. And if you're thinking, wow, that looks like a lot of work, let me tell you that this needs 2 coats, and I also did the sealant. But the most heartbreaking part of this project occurred right here. When doing a quick dry fit of the toilet, I discovered that the existing supply line was in the way of the installation. So instead of a quick and easy supply line hookup, I had to go to the basement, cut out some drywall, find that existing supply line, and no, I'm not stealing the copper pipe in this situation, I just had to cut it out. All right, a little bit of water, but not too bad. And coming back upstairs, we can remove this section and look at how close we were to fitting. It was literally like a ½ inch.
Missed it by that much.
And now I just need to drill another hole near the toilet that's gonna allow me to install the angle valve that came with the Haro toilet. And when it came to replacing the pipe, I decided to use copper since I'm comfortable soldering, but there are so many other piping materials like PEX or CPVC that are a bit more beginner friendly, but if you're gonna be doing a bunch of remodels, learning how to solder is probably worth your time. I learned how to do this on my very first bathroom remodel out of necessity, but it's really not that bad. Now, is this a clean solder? Absolutely not, but it doesn't leak. And speaking of leaks, I decided to live on the edge and do a double shark bite for this connection, which I'll probably replace in the future with a Pro Press, but there really wasn't any room to solder. And for these threaded connections, I always use Teflon tape and pipe dope because I find that this combination is the least likely to leak. And after setting the Johnny bolts and the wax ring in place, it's finally time to install this Haro T37 smart toilet for real this time. And although installing an outlet and moving the supply line was pretty annoying, this toilet is going to be awesome, and here's a quick teaser of some of the features. First, you never have to worry about leaving the toilet seat up again because it automatically closes and opens when you walk in. There's also a motion sensor on the side to lift the seat, and to flush the toilet, you can either use the remote or the button on the side right here. And if you drank a lot of water before you went to sleep, no worries. There's a light in the toilet, and then there's an adjustable heated toilet seat to keep that tushy nice and warm. That's enough potty talk for now. I'll show you the rest rest of the features at the end of the video. So I bought my replacement vanity from Wayfair, and to get it into the bathroom, I actually had to remove the door since it's only a 24-inch opening. And I have a dedicated video on my channel showing how to install a vanity, a faucet, a P-trap, everything like that. So instead of talking you through a vanity installation, I want to talk to you about something even scarier than a plumbing leak: identity thieves and hackers. If you're tired of worrying about online security or those annoying geo blocks that stop you from accessing your favorite content, it's time to take control with today's video sponsor, Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN that keeps you safe from hackers and trackers, whether you're browsing from home or using public Wi-Fi at the local coffee shop. Now, I definitely wish that I would have caulked before I installed this faucet. I don't want you to wish that you had Surfshark VPN after a data breach. I'm gonna show you two gentlemen. One just had his identity stolen and one witnessed an ocean tragedy, and you can see the similar emotions. And Surfshark is not just for data and identity protection. You can also use the 3,200 servers in 100+ countries to easily access any website or streaming service, no matter where you are. So if you want to start surfing the web securely, go to my link, Surfshark/Andrew Throne, which is linked down in the video description, and you'll get an extra 4 months of Surfshark for free. And whoever installed this light fixture in the bathroom before me installed it in a location that wasn't even centered over the plumbing. So I did a quick drywall California patch to repair that hole. And if you're new to drywall, I'll link a video down below that shows a bunch of different drywall repair methods. And after applying some Roman clay to that area, it's time to start installing this vanity. And I started by installing the gaskets and the plumbing for the P-trap. And it's always a good idea to flush the supply lines before making your final plumbing supply connections. And after connecting the supply hoses to the valves, it's just a matter of tightening that up, pushing your vanity back into place, and making sure your P-trap isn't hitting those drawers. And I was a bit concerned that one overhead light wouldn't be enough light for the bathroom, so I decided to install an LED mirror, and I anchored one side of the hanging bracket into a stud, and I used a drywall anchor for the other side. Next, I hung up the mirror so that I could mark the location for the overhead vanity light, and I marked around the perimeter of the box before cutting through the drywall using an oscillating tool and a jab saw. Then it was just a matter of fishing out the electrical line that I fed up there previously, running it through the electrical box, and then pushing it into place and securing it to the drywall using those tabs that I showed you earlier. And after stripping off the sheathing, I have to confess that I accidentally bought an LED mirror with a plug, which was a mistake. But did you know that anything with a plug can be converted to a hardwired connection? All you gotta do is cut off the plug, and then you'll find 3 beautiful wires, and after stripping them off, you're gonna have your hot, which is black, your green, which is ground, and your neutral, which is white, and all you gotta do is wire that up to your power source, just like you would for a regular hardwired fixture. And after shoving those wires back in the box, it's time to hang this LED mirror, and they're all very similar. They have a hanging bracket that goes on the mounting bracket, pretty straightforward. And instead of reinstalling the door that I previously removed, I'm trying to modernize this bathroom and eventually the whole house, so I'm installing this new modern door from Belldinni. And I know some of you guys are gonna say, no, don't remove the wood, but I hear you, I get it. But the vision for this house is a more modern one, and I think these Belldinni doors are a step in the right direction. I really think it's going to be cohesive once all the doors are matching. And Belldinni has a ton of different door styles on their website, and you can get 10% off all Belldinni doors using code THRONE10 at doordesignlab.com, link below. And after confirming that the door frame was completely plumb, I cut off the excess shims using an oscillating tool. Now for the baseboards, trim, and casing, I used this molding that I got from Next Day Moldings. Again, going with the modern theme, and to get that dado line right so it transitions directly from the baseboard to the casing, you got to get a little creative with how you cut the casing and the molding, but it should look something like this. And as I take care of the final touches in this bathroom, I want to get back to my claim that a half bath remodel is a lot like a gateway drug. At surface level, it's really not that big a deal. I mean, everyone's doing it, and you know, you can stop whenever you want, and if you get in over your head, you can just hire a contractor. And before you know it, you're knee deep into a bathroom remodel. And pro tip here, it's never as simple as you think. My first half bath remodel, I ended up having to rip out the entire floor, which I did not see coming. But if you commit to finishing the job, and you make the trips to Home Depot, and you buy the tools you need, and you make it out to the other side, you might just become a DIY addict. But before I finish that thought, let's take a quick reminder look at where this project started. And here is a look at the final result. And here are a few more functions of that toilet. It's got the bidet, the front wash, it's got a fan to dry, it's got all kinds of features, so I'll link that down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below, consider subscribing if you like DIY content, and leave a comment down below. All the engagement helps. Let me know if you like the bathroom, don't think it fits in, what are your thoughts on the toilet, what about the door? I'll be sure to respond to as many comments as possible. Thanks, I'll see you on the next one.